New Google anti-gravity destroys n8n. You're wasting hours building workflows that AI agents could build for you in minutes. You're stuck clicking through nodes and debugging connections when you could be delegating entire projects. Google just dropped something that changes everything about workflow automation. And if you're still manually building every single step, you're already behind. What's up, everyone? It's Julian. Today, we're diving into Google Anti-Gravity. This thing launched on November 18th, 2025, alongside Gemini 3. People are asking if this is the end of n8n. We're going to break down exactly what anti-gravity does, how it compares to n8n, and whether you should switch. Let's get into it. So what exactly is Google Anti-Gravity? It's an agent-first development platform. AI agents are the primary workers, not you. You become the architect, you tell the agents what to build, and they handle the planning, coding, testing, and debugging autonomously. Think about how you normally work. You write code line by line. You jump between your editor, terminal, and browser. Right? Anti-gravity flips this. The agents work across all three surfaces at once. They write code in the editor, run commands in the terminal, and test your app in the browser, all without you constantly switching tabs. Here's the interesting part. Anti-gravity is built on top of Visual Studio Code, but Google rebuilt the interface around agent management. There are two main views. First is the editor view, your standard coding environment with AI-powered tab completions and inline commands. And then there's the manager view. This is the game changer. Instead of agents being stuck in a sidebar, they get their own workspace. You can see everything they're doing, their plans, their progress, their reasoning. You can guide them with comments just like in Google Docs. The agents learn from your feedback and store it for future tasks. Now let's talk about n8n for a second. If you've used it, you know it's powerful. It's an open source workflow automation tool with a visual node-based editor. You drag and drop nodes to connect different services. You can inject custom JavaScript. And if you self-host it, you get full control over your data and infrastructure. It's been the go-to for technical teams who want flexibility without paying Zapier prices. But n8n is built for you to manually create workflows. You're connecting the nodes, writing the logic, debugging when things break. It's powerful if you know what you're doing, but it requires effort every time. Anti-gravity takes a different approach. Instead of you building the workflow, you describe what you want. The AI agents plan it, they write the code, they test it, they fix bugs, and they show you everything through artifacts, detailed records of task lists, code, screenshots, browser sessions, and test results. You can see the agent's reasoning, you can comment, you can redirect them without stopping their work. Let me give you a concrete example. Say you want to build a lead generation tool that scrapes company data from websites, enriches it with contact info, and sends it to your CRM. In n8n, you'd need to set up webhook nodes, HTTP request nodes, function nodes for data transformation, and connection nodes for your CRM. You'd need to handle errors, test each step, and debug when things don't work. It could take hours depending on complexity. With anti-gravity, you describe the task, build a lead gen tool that scrapes company websites, finds decision maker emails, and pushes them to HubSpot. The agents plan the architecture. One agent might handle the web scraping logic, another builds the email enrichment API calls, another handles the HubSpot integration. They work in parallel, they test in the browser, they validate outputs, and they give you a working system with documentation. The speed difference is real. Independent tests showed anti-gravity completing typical back-end features in about 42 seconds compared to 68 seconds with other AI coding tools. That's 38% faster with 94% accuracy on refactoring versus 78% fewer bugs, less debugging. Here's what matters. With n8n, you're in the weeds of workflow logic. With anti-gravity, you're focused on the outcome. You review plans, validate outputs, and make strategic decisions instead of technical ones. Now here's something important. Anti-gravity supports multiple AI models. It runs primarily on Gemini 3 Pro, Gemini 3 Deep Think, and Gemini 3 Flash, but it also supports Claude Sonnet 4.5, Claude Opus 4.5, and an open source variant of OpenAI models. You're not locked into one provider, you can pick the model that works best for your specific task. The browser integration is another major piece. The agents can launch your app in a built-in browser, interact with it, click buttons, fill forms, and test user flows. They compare what they see with expectations. If there's a mismatch, they automatically detect and fix the problem. This is huge for building anything with a UI. Let me talk about something that stopped me when I first started exploring these kinds of tools. The learning curve. When I first tried building automation workflows, I was overwhelmed. Let's break down some key differences. First, the approach n8n is workflow focused. You're connecting services and moving data between them. Anti-gravity is development focused. You're building applications, features, and complete systems. Second, the interface. n8n gives you a visual canvas with nodes. Anti-gravity gives you plan mode for detailed planning and fast mode for quick execution. The agents handle configuration. Third, deployment. n8n can be self-hosted for full data control. Anti-gravity is free during public preview with generous rate limits on Gemini 3 Pro. Enterprise pricing will be based on compute usage, not seat licenses. Fourth, use cases. n8n excels at connecting SaaS tools and automating business processes. Anti-gravity excels at building software, developing APIs, and creating complex features. Here's what I see happening. These tools aren't direct competitors. They solve related but different problems. n8n is strong for workflow automations between existing tools. Anti-gravity is powerful for building new software with AI agents. The overlap exists in data transformations, API calls, and process automation. The question is, which approach fits your mental model better? One thing that surprised me about anti-gravity is the artifacts system. Every decision the agent makes gets documented. You can see why it chose a certain approach. You can see the test results. You can see browser interactions. This transparency matters, especially if you're in finance or healthcare, where audit trails are required. The browser verification loops are clever. The agent writes code, starts a test environment, observes the visual output, and compares it to expected results. If something's wrong, it detects and suggests fixes automatically. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Will anti-gravity kill n8n? Probably not. n8n has over 200,000 active users, 3,000 plus enterprise customers, and a mature ecosystem. Plus, n8n is evolving with AI features, an AI assistant, workflow builder, and over 4,000 starter templates. What's more likely is coexistence. Some teams will prefer n8n's visual approach and self-hosting control. Some will prefer anti-gravity's agent-first model. Many will use both, n8n for workflow automation, anti-gravity for software development. If you're looking to dive deeper into AI tools and actually implement them in your work, if you're building software and spending lots of time on repetitive coding tasks, anti-gravity is worth testing. The agent approach can handle boilerplate, setup, and testing, but validate everything. The bottom line. Google Anti-Gravity is a serious platform. The technology works, the agent-first approach is real, but it doesn't make n8n obsolete. Different tools, different strengths, different use cases. I'm excited about where this technology is going. The ability to describe what you want and have AI agents build it is powerful. If you found this helpful, drop a like and subscribe for more AI tool content. Comment with what automation tools you're using and challenges you're facing.